Question: 80% of sand from Playa Fermat falls through a sieve with gaps of 2 mm. 40% of this filtered sand passes through a sieve with gaps of 1 mm. Assuming that a grain of sand's diameter is normally distributed, estimate the mean and standard deviation of the sand grains. Now we answer this question. So the diameter of the sand follows the normal distribution, mu variance. And the question tells us that the probability that the diameter is smaller than 2 mm is 80%. And the probability that the diameter is smaller than 1 mm, given that the diameter is smaller than 2 mm, this equals 40%. So this one is a conditional probability. We recall the formula for conditional probability. That's probability A given B equals probability of A intersect B over probability of B. This formula can be changed to probability A intersect B equals probability A given B multiply probability of B. Now let's go back to this conditional probability. So here, D is smaller than 1 is A, and D is smaller than 2 is B. So we use D is smaller than 1 to replace A here, and use D is smaller than 2 to replace B here. We can get the probability of D is smaller than 1 intersect D is smaller than 2. This equals the probability that D is smaller than 1 given D is smaller than 2 multiply probability D is smaller than 2. Then this equals, we know the probability that D is smaller than 1 given D is smaller than 2. This is 40%. And multiply the probability that D is smaller than 2. This is 80%. So this equals 0.32. And look at here. If D is smaller than 1, it must be smaller than 2. So the intersect of them is just D is smaller than 1. So this probability just equals probability D is smaller than 1. So the probability that D is smaller than 1 just equals 0.32. So now we get this one and this one. Now we know the probability that Z is smaller than 2 minus mu over standard deviation equals probability D is smaller than 2. This equals 80%. This is just 0.8. And the probability that Z is smaller than 1 minus mu over standard deviation. This just equals probability that D is smaller than 1. This equals 0.32. And use calculator, we can get 2 minus mu over standard deviation equals 0.8416. and 1 minus mu over standard deviation equals negative 0.4677. This is equation 1. Equation 2. From 1, we get 2 minus mu equals 0.8416. And from 2, get 1 minus mu equals negative 0.4677. Multiply standard deviation. Here also multiply standard deviation. And this is equation 3, 4. Now use 3 to minus 4, we get 1 equals 1.3093. Multiply standard deviation. So we get the standard deviation equals 0.764 millimeter. And then we can get the mean mu equals 1.357 millimeter.